y'all, welcome back to my channel. Let's get into the Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right, y'all, so the episode starts with Angela and Charles going to lunch. They were at this rooftop spot. It was real cute. I'm gonna be honest, Charles looked like he wanted to be anywhere else but there. Everybody in my comments on TikTok wanted to blame the cameras for how Charles was acting. It was not the cameras, y'all. Like, he really did not want to be at lunch with Angela. I swear, he didn't. On top of that, this man has been on camera my whole entire life. So it's not the cameras. This is like their dynamics of their relationship. It was really telling. He was acting real stank. But they started talking about the big three. He coaches a league on the big three now that he's retired. So they started getting into that, having a little back and forth about who's on what team. Charles was looking at her like, girl, how would you even know for real? Like, stay in your lane, low key. Then we get to where Angela, this is the awkward part. This is the awkward part of the whole lunch. Angela is like, give me a kiss. And he's looking at her like she's crazy, y'all. Like, he's leaning over. They're on two separate sides of the couch. And he's looking at her like she's crazy. She's like, give me a kiss. He does not lean in to give her a kiss. She leans into him all the way across the length of that couch to kiss him. He leans in to give her a kiss. And it's the most awkward peck ever. Like, it was super fast, super uncomfortable. I'm just like, Charles low-key don't like this lady. I don't care what nobody say. Then they cut back to their confessional and the producer asked Charles, do you love Angela? And he does not say S-H-I-T, you guys. He does not say anything. He's just chuckling at the producer. Angela's looking over at him like, you finna answer the question? And he does not answer the question at all. Not one time in that confessional does he respond, yes, I do love my wife. Yes, I do love Angela. He don't say nothing at all. And the producer it's awkward. The producer's like trying to backtrack out of that question. But this scene said a lot about their relationship. It was very uncomfortable for me. I'm just kind of like, what's really going on over there? What's going on with this alleged baby? What's going on for real? Because the dynamics are given, he low-key is just married to you, so he don't got to go through divorce paperwork. Like, something is off. Something is off for sure. Okay, moving on. We see Shamia and Cynthia sit down. I think this was the perfect sit down because Cynthia right now is playing the role of, you know, kind of fairy godmother to everybody. She's just really not in the middle of things. She's just offering advice. So I think this was perfect after that Pampered by Porsha event for Shamia to sit down with Cynthia. Instantly, Shamia is giving the waterworks. Like, she's already tearing up, already starting to cry, basically. And she's just like, this situation that her and Porsha are in is super uncomfortable for her. She doesn't really know how to operate in this space. She hates how things went at the Pampered by Porsha event. And high-key, they aren't talking. Like, they're not communicating right now. My thing is, I get that Shamia is hurting by this friendship. Her feelings are valid. I can understand where she feels how she feels regarding feeling like the sideline, feeling like Porsha is very dismissive. I can understand that. But Shamia, you are the one who brought these conversations to the group. I don't know why Shamia is acting as if she is not the one who sat down with Angela and Drew after Cynthia's Bailey Q and had a whole conversation about feelings she's had about Porsha. I'm not really understanding why she's acting like she did not bring this SHIT up. I'm not getting it. I'm not following. Shamia, you're the one who brought this up to the collective of the group. But Shamia is claiming, she says to Cynthia, she's claiming that they brought it up to her. She's claiming that Drew and Angela brought up things about Shamia and Porsha's friendship, i.e. Porsha not going to her wedding, i.e. Porsha talking over Shamia's song earlier this season. So she's claiming they brought it up. But my thing is, you didn't have to entertain the conversation. You could have easily said, you know what, y'all, I appreciate the concern, but that's between me and my friend. And you didn't. You ended up becoming very vulnerable and opening up. And we're not saying don't show vulnerability. We are saying don't sit here and act like Porsha is the one who brought all of this up to the collective. You brought it up. That's all we saying. We do get a little backstory with Shamia's mom and Porsha's mom. So apparently how Porsha and Shamia became close friends is because their moms were close friends. Who knew? They're not friends like that no more, though. Apparently, it's some real tea there. But yeah, Shamia would not disclose exactly what went down between Miss Diane and her mother. It's something that went down for sure. For sure. Something went down that broke those two women apart. I'm wondering if it was a man, because what's really tea? What is the real deal here? But the backstory with the mamas definitely explains some of the tension, and it also explains why earlier in the season Miss Diane was telling Porsha when they were getting their toes done, basically don't trust Shamia. The apple don't fall far from the tree. That's really what she was getting at. So whatever went down with Miss Diane and Shamia's mama, that's really what we need to get into. We also see later on in the episode Shamia talking to her family while she's at the studio. Shamia is basically venting to her family, saying she hates the space that her and Porsha are in, and she's really the only one putting in work in their friendship. However, her sister kept it 100% real, and her sister was like, girl, we've seen this friendship going downhill. It's been a slippery slope for a while. So the sister was not like playing games in this moment on this camera. She's like, girl, y'all ain't been in the same space in a minute. We've been trying to tell you that. Shamia seems real hard-headed. Like, she's not going to listen to counsel. Like, she's not really going to listen to the people around her or to God at this point. Like, girl, the signs are on the wall. Friendships do expire. Friendships do end. And that's just a part of life. And to me, you're not paying attention to the signs of this friendship is slowly ending, and it's best for you to step back. Next scene, we see a bowling scene with Cynthia, Porsha, and Angela. Now, I do want to sidebar real quick. I think it's really strange that Angela has all this animosity and weird energy towards Shamia because Shamia laughed at a joke. But she over here kicking it with the woman who said out your husband. I'm not following this. I'm not understanding it at all. Angela has been real buddy-buddy with Porsha. They was playing tennis. Now they bowling. I'm not following. It would never be me, ever in life. You wouldn't catch me in a scene with that girl no more. And that's just petty, but it is what it is. If you say you want to have sex with my husband, that's dead. It's done. There's no hee hee ha ha hoo 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 after that. Like, it's a wrap. It's over with. But after they bowl a little bit, we see Porsha really get into the nitty gritty a little more about her daughter PJ, Pilar, and what's going on with Simon. So Porsha lets them know that Pilar has been having a hard time with Simon not being around. She says that PJ asked her, like, where's Papa? That's what PJ calls Simon. Where's Papa? Where's Papa? And Porsha basically had to lie. She had to lie. Like, the child is too young to really disclose any type of real information on what's going on. So she had to say, you know, he's still working. Like, he'll be back soon. And PJ is at the point where she probably like, girl, just tell the truth. Like, I know he not coming back. But she had to just let her daughter know, like, Simon is away right now and he'll be back soon. You could hear the, you know, slight pain in Porsha's voice regarding the situation. I think she's, you know, hurting that her daughter is hurting. My thing is, I don't understand why you would ever introduce your child to somebody you didn't even know like that, who was a scammer in the first place. Like, sis, be so for real right now. Do better. We got to do better. Like, you can't just be introducing your children, especially your daughters, to just any who, okay? Because that's who Simon was. He had just gotten out of a divorce with Fallon, barely. And you introducing your child to this man, creating a home with this man, living with this man, and you didn't even know this man. You didn't even know this man. And where is Simon now? With ICE. If y'all didn't know, Simon has been detained by ICE. So he is in custody of the United States government as of the time being, real time. So it's crazy to me that Porsha would even put her daughter in this predicament. But this is what happens when you introduce your children to men you don't know. This is what happens. So we wish PJ the best. Moving on. Sidebar. She does say that Simon left them on red. She says when she texted Simon about PJ missing him, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, he read that and left it on red. He did not reply. Girl, it's just a sad situation overall. It's a sad situation overall. Do better. Do better. You're supposed to protect your child at every which way, left and right. And I just feel like you introducing your daughter to this man was nuts. It was crazy. It didn't make no sense. It was unhinged. Do better. We wish PJ the best, though. Next. Because of all that going on with Simon, him on social media, back and forth, just trying to expose Porsha. Porsha is saying she does not have the mental capacity to deal with Shamia and all of this BS going on in their friendship. Like, girl, I'm going through a whole divorce with a psychopath. I do not have time to deal with you. And on that note, I kind of feel Porsha a little bit like Shamia. Why are we bringing up stuff from 10 years ago? I'm not understanding this. So I'm kind of with Porsha on that. I got real stuff going on in my household. I'm trying to find a new house. I'm trying to make sure my daughter's straight. I don't have time to be dealing with this friendship stuff right now. And that's just what it is. And Porsha is a human being. She's not, you know, a robot. She's human. So I'm giving her grace in the sense of she has stuff going on. That's real life. And Shamia, right now, you doing too much. You're doing too much. And we're going to get to that later on in this review. Because later on in the episode, Shamia really was doing too much. Next scene we get into is Drew on FaceTime with her mama. Drew. So what I did peep was Drew has not been filming with none of the ladies. Like, we've seen Kelly and Shamia We have seen Porsha with Angela and Cynthia. We have seen everybody filming with everybody. Drew has not been filming with the ladies, and I'm low-key like, is she on the chopping block? Is production about to cut her? It's giving that. It's giving we may not see Drew next season. Especially if Phaedra comes back for a full season next season. Drew may have to go. I've never really liked her on this show. It's giving weird. It just never really landed for me. But anyway, Drew is on the phone with her mama on FaceTime, and we're about to get into more of this Ralph stuff. So at this point, Ralph is acting like a super villain. He's acting like a super villain, which is beyond me. He is not having any compassion, love, any love left for the fact that she's the mother of your children, treating Drew the way he is treating her. Ralph wants 40% of Drew's LLC, an LLC that she created in 2005, which was years before her and Ralph ever got together. Mind blowing. Mind blowing. And my thing is, baby, what exactly did you do to deserve 40%? That's wild. That's insane. It's outrageous. So I could definitely see why Drew is going through it in this moment. I could see why. This is a lot on her. She's got, 3 kids, trying to keep a roof over their head, provide for them, and she's dealing with another kid too. Ralph is a big kid at this point. So I could definitely see where Drew is just overwhelmed. It's a lot. I could definitely see that. We also find out that Ralph changed the security codes on the crib. He has locked Drew out the house. Like, he changed the codes, changed the ring password. She can't get in, y'all. He had to go through the basement door, which he does have a code to, go through the house and unlock the front door so she can get in. So he done changed the codes. I don't know how he could do that, but he did it. So I don't know really what's going on. Something is fishy. Something in the milk ain't clean with their divorce proceedings, with this separation agreement. I'm lost. I'm confused. I do think it's crazy that he done locked his kids' mamas out the house. You gonna lock your kid mama out the house? That's dangerous. That's beyond petty. Like, that's dangerous. That's psychopath SHIT right there. That is dangerous. Ralph he playing a dirty game. He playing a dirty game. But anywho, back on the phone with the mama. Her mom is like, Ralph is traumatizing these kids. The mom is like, this is too much. The children are becoming traumatized by this behavior. And I'm like, that part. The kids having to see this mess unfold. Mama living upstairs. Daddy living in the basement. It's just too much. It's too confusing for kids that young. It's too confusing for me. And I'm grown. I don't understand it. And I feel bad for her children. I feel for her children. And we just gotta pray for them kids because it's too much. It's too heavy. Mommy and daddy aren't getting along, and it's breaking. That can break a child. On top of that, it's going to shape how they love, how they respond, how they communicate. So her kids are definitely probably going through a lot in this time. Basically, it's way bigger than just Ralph and Drew. But we going to get more into that later on in the review because yeah, just hold that thought. So the next 2 scenes we see are Angela and Kelly. I don't really care that much, so I'm gonna kind of bypass this real quick. Angela is meeting with her mom. I don't really care about this scene at all. Now, we do find out that Angela's mom did end up passing away last fall of 2024. So rest in peace to her mom. That's really, really sad. I know what that feels like, losing a parent. So that is tough. Regarding Angela and her family, my prayers really do go out. And I just pray that they're getting through this tough time because that is very, very tough. But regarding this scene, I just frankly didn't care. Next up is Kelly. She's teaching her daughter how to drive. Her daughter got a whole AirPod in, headphones in while she's trying to teach her how to drive. It's crazy to me. Next, I just don't have time for the foolishness. Scenes I don't care about, I'm not getting into. So next scene. Now let's get back to Drew. Because this right here was interesting. Drew's mom ends up flying all the way. I'm guessing her mama live in Chicago, where I live. So her mom flies all the way from Chicago to Atlanta because I guess she could sense her daughter is just going through a lot right now, which A++ to the mom. That's great that she's coming to see Drew to just make sure she's okay, check on her mental health, just help out a little bit where she can while she's staying there for a little bit. But the interesting part about this scene to me was her mom is saying these kids are out of control. The kids are out of control. The mom says that these kids don't even listen to her. You know, most kids got respect for their grandma. I know I do. So if my grandma tells me to do something, I'm doing it, period. There's no questioning. Like, you got more respect sometimes for your grandparents than your parents. Just because that's just the dynamics in Black households a lot of times. Grandma, though, is saying these kids don't even respect her. They're not even listening to her when she's trying to discipline them. And I'm going to say I appreciate Drew's mom for keeping it 100% real. She was keeping it 100. Because Drew was kind of on this camera playing in our faces. And I'm about to tell you how. So the moment the mom starts talking about what really is going on with these kids, how they not listen to anybody, how they've changed since all of this has happened in the past 2 years, Drew starts crying and cuts her mom off and it's like, this is too much. Drew, what are you? It almost feels like she did not want her mom to disclose this information on camera. I was like, Drew, you're not fooling me. She literally cut her mom off mid-tier, like, as if her mom should continue talking about what she talking about. It was real interesting. It was like she didn't want to hear that her kids are not respectful to adults and that her kids have changed. Or it's like she did not want her mom to say that on camera. Either way, Drew needed to hear it. And either way, the audience needed to hear it too. Because you and Ralph are over here acting like this situation is cute, hunky-dory, and normal, and it's not. Your kids don't respect nobody at this point because they live in a dysfunctional household. Period. End of story. Drew ends up walking off though, crying, went to the bathroom or whatever. The mom is sitting there crying. The chef had to come and console Drew's mom because Drew wanted to walk up out the scene like, you're doing too much. There is no way on the planet as a parent of 3 children, you did not know your kids were going to be different from this experience. It's life-altering and life-changing. I'm lost as to how you are acting brand new. Don't act brand new for these cameras. And I'm glad Drew's mom kept it 100 with the audience. Period. But Drew is clearly overwhelmed and the mom is not wrong. That's really what I got from this scene. Moving on. Now we get into the nitty-gritty of the episode. This is really what we wanted to see, which is Porsha and Shamia's sit down since the Pampered by Porsha event. We need to see these two talk, and we about to get into it. When I tell y'all this was one of the most awkward things I've ever watched, I was just like, this is awkward. What is really going on in this friendship? Something in the milk ain't clean. Like, you could tell they don't talk like that. It was just very awkward for me. But they sit down. Sidebar, the food looked real good, real soul food. I'm gonna have to check that place out if I'm ever in Atlanta, but it looked really, really good. Shamia starts off the scene and she's just like, look, I just want to apologize. I want to apologize for this basically like becoming bigger than it is. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And Porsha is low-key looking at her like, well, you the one who brought this up in the first place. So, okay. You can tell Porsha is kind of over it, which, again, we can understand a little bit why she's going through a whole divorce with a whole crazy person. So, at this point, I do think Porsha is emotionally drained. However, Shamia really did try to, like, rebrand how things went down, and the audience and Porsha is just not buying it. You, again, are the one who brought this up to Angela and Drew, which is why we are even talking about this in the first place. Which is why we talking about this. It's why you and Porsha sitting down talking about this. It's because of you. Shamia really then goes in to say she wishes it was a private conversation instead of it being all exposed at the Pampered by Porsha event. It was all exposed at the Pampered by Porsha event because Angela nor Drew owes you their silence. Y'all aren't friends like that. So what did Angela go do? She went and told Porsha what you said, and I don't know why you're not wrapping your head around this. Like, apparently in the after show, I talked about this last week, Shamia told them to pinky promise not to say nothing at the dinner. Are we 12? 1, I don't owe you my loyalty, and 2, be so for real. But yeah, Shamia over here talking about she wants to keep it private. You're the one who made it public, so let's not pretend that it wasn't your doing. Next. Then Shamia does start getting defenseful, and it's like she's kind of, to me, attacking Porsha a little bit. She's like, well, unlike you, I don't just, go off about things right away. Like, when you spoke over my song, I didn't say nothing right away. And in my mind, I'm just kind of like, well, that was on you. That was on you for not saying nothing right away, Shamia. You should have addressed that right in that moment, because right now you look really goofy. You look like a goofy. Then Porsha lets out the biggest sigh ever. She's like, and she looked just like that. Like, if you don't shut up, like, girl. So you could tell Porsha was over. And Shamia's like, oh, am I boring you? Should I be quiet? And Porsha's like, no, girl, just continue. Like, you could tell Porsha is so detached from this situation at this point. Shamia does drop a little bit of tea, though. She says that off camera, Porsha basically said that if the show wants to see her and Shamia's real friendship, they're gonna have to pay her more. I said, oh my. Now that's some tea. Porsha didn't deny it. She did not deny it. I'm like, that's wild. Shamia is really like over talking Porsha, and it's just like, why can't we be friends on camera? Why can't we be the same friends that we are on camera, that we are off camera? Why can't we be the same friends we are off camera? Like, she's continuously like berating her at this point with this. I will say this whole scene was a mess. It was messy, but it was good TV though. It was good TV. That was a bomb drop right there. Porsha then says, I believe in her confessional, like, girl, I'm hurting right now. I need a friend. I need you to be my friend in this moment. I'm going through a whole divorce. I don't need to be arguing with you. Like, I don't need another friend breakup. I don't need to divorce you too. And I kind of felt that. When you're down bad and your closest friend starts to feel like your enemy, That's real pain. So I can see where Porsha is coming from her point of view. I can also see where Shamea is coming from her point of view. My thing with Shamea is, though, you should have let your real feelings out 8 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Like, girl, I can see why Porsha is like, oh, now you getting on the show and want to argue. I can see where Porsha's coming from. But it's too much for Porsha in this moment, so she does what she does best. She gets up and leaves the scene, goes to the bathroom, sheds a tear. We've seen Porsha do this several times. She did it with Dennis. This is something she does. When Porsha comes back to the table finally, she does, she seems a little bit more open to, like, okay, let's finish this conversation on a high note. Because at this point, it's just getting low. Shamea is tearing up. It's just a whole bunch of emotions. But you could feel the years of history between them. They've got so much history. They've been friends since, high school, middle school? So you could feel that it's just a lot of love there, but a lot of unresolved issues that just never really came to the forefront. And when it's all coming to the forefront at once, like, that's overwhelming and can be a lot. And it makes you want to just be like, F this, I don't even want the friendship like that no more. They do get to a point where Porsha reaches her hands across the table. Shamea grabs her hands, and Porsha's just like, look, I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to divorce you. I love you. I don't want this to become bigger than it is. Like, we got to stop this here. We have to figure out a way to just move forward. And Shamea's in agreement. She definitely agrees with her. And they have a little cute friendship moment. They end up hugging, and it's cute. Now, it was cute for the moment. As we know, in real time, they have a lot of issues going on. I have not covered all that on my channel. Check out my TikTok if you want to see me cover some of the stuff Porsha has been saying online. But in real time, it's unfortunate that sit down did not really do much. They clearly still have issues to this day. So that really does suck. So I just hope these ladies can really work it out. They do have a long friendship, and I just hope they can work it out. I really, really do. Because right now, in real time, it's sad to see the things that are being said, where they're at right now. So I just really do hope that they can work this out. But y'all, that was the end of the episode. Woo! This episode really did give us a lot. It was a lot going on, child. It was a lot. From the awkward kiss to the drama with Drew and Ralph, the mama drama, friendship fallouts, real life breakdowns. It was a lot going on. The girls literally are going through it, but they gave us a good episode this week. They did. But y'all already know I'm gonna be here every week breaking down all the drama for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So if you enjoyed my commentary, definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all turn that bell on so you get notifications when my videos pop up each and every week. And drop in the comments. Tell me whose side are you on. Are you team Shamea? Are you team Porsha? Like, let me know. Are you team Ralph? Are you team Drew? I want to know y'all's thoughts in the comments. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video.